Today I will explain to you pharmacology. What is pharmacology? Pharmacology means the study of the drugs. The drugs are studied under a branch of biology, a branch of medicine called pharmacology. Pharma means drug and logy means study. The study of drugs is called pharmacology. Because in pharmacology we study drugs, so everything which is related to drugs is studied in pharmacology. For example, how drugs are made, what are drugs, and for what purpose drugs are used. Everything related to the drugs is studied in pharmacology. And what are drugs? That is essential for us to know if we study pharmacology. Drugs are particular type of substances which alter normal functioning of body. The substances, the materials which change, which alter normal functioning of the body are known as drugs. And there are two types of the drugs. One type of drugs are known as pharmaceutical drugs, or we can also call them medicinal drugs. Pharmaceutical drugs or medicinal drugs are used for the treatment, for the diagnosis, or for the prevention of the diseases. These are used as medicine. Many vaccines and antibiotics are examples of pharmaceutical drugs. These are used to treat the diseases, used to treat the disorders. And the other type of the drugs is addictive drugs. The word addictive means to make someone habituated to something, used to something. Addictive drugs make the person used to them, and they are not used as a treatment of the diseases, but they are used for harmful, for temporary ease, and these are dangerous. They are used as an addiction. They are not used for the treatment. They are used instead for recreational purposes, for relieving in some ways very much pain. Addictive drugs can also be used, but their normal use is illegal. It is not according to the laws. Before we go into the detail of pharmaceutical drugs or addictive drugs, we will know more about the drugs. Some drugs you can buy from any shop, you can buy from any market. These drugs are known as non-prescription drugs. Non-prescription drugs does not require the prescription of a doctor. These are used without the advice of a doctor. You can buy them from anywhere. That is why these drugs are also known as over the counter drugs. Over the counter drugs or non-prescription drugs have many examples like aspirin, like paracetamol. These are available from any shop. The other type of drugs which are used only on the advice or only on the prescription of a doctor, which only doctors suggest you, these medicines or these drugs are called prescription drugs. These will not be available on the general stores or on any shop. Now we will discuss the medicinal drugs in detail. Medicinal drugs or pharmaceutical drugs are used as a treatment of a disease. For diagnosis, treatment or prevention of a disease, these are used medicinal drugs. There are many sources, many ways we get medicinal drugs. Many sources of the medicinal drugs include the following. Those drugs which are obtained from the laboratory are called synthetic drugs. Synthetic medicinal drugs or medical drugs may also use the adjective medical instead of medicinal. Both will mean the same. The synthetic drugs are the drugs which are obtained in the laboratory, and they are not obtained from the natural plants, from animals, from natural resources, but they are made in the laboratory. The drugs which are made in or which are made by laboratory, which are man-made, are known as synthetic drugs. The example is aspirin and many antibiotics. Other source of the drugs are plants and fungi. Many medicinal drugs are obtained from plants and fungi. In particular, many painkillers, those drugs which are used to relieve, which are used to reduce the pain, are known as painkillers, and many painkillers are obtained from plants and fungi. For example, cardiotonic. Cardiotonic are painkillers, special type of drugs which are obtained from plants. A special type of the plants called foxglove, whose leaves are purple colored. From the foxglove, a cardiotonic known as digitalis is obtained. The word cardio means heart, tonic means reliever. The drugs which are used for relieving the heart pain, the heart disease pain, these are known as cardiotonic. And digitalis is a cardiotonic which is obtained from a purple colored flower plant that is known as foxglove. And the penicillin is another very much famous drug which is obtained from a fungus known as Penicillium notatum. And many other drugs also, like a drug known as morphine, which is obtained from the opium poppy plant, is also used as medicine for medicinal purposes. So these are the drugs which are obtained from plants and fungi. Other sources of the drugs include medicinal. Other sources of the medicinal drugs are animals. The drugs obtained from the animals, actually they are glandular products. Glandular products means the glands of the animals, the endocrine glands of the animals produce substances which are used as medicine by physicians, by doctors. And these glandular products means beeswax. Example of glandular products of the animals are beeswax, which are used for many diseases, and musk, which is a special type of oil used as relieving the pain for most of the bone diseases, and also fish liver oil is used as a source of vitamin as well as for treatment of various diseases. Various antitoxins are also obtained from animals. Antitoxins are the drugs which are used to kill the toxins which are used to get immunity against the toxins. The poisonous materials which enter in our body along with the food are known as toxins. The effect of the toxins is reduced by the drugs which are known as antitoxins, and these are obtained from most of the animals. Another source of the drugs, the medicinal drugs, is minerals. The drugs which are obtained from the minerals, you may also call them as mineral drugs. The medicine drugs which are obtained from minerals, we can call them mineral drugs. Minerals are the substances which arise from the earth, which arise from the soil. And the example of the mineral drugs which are obtained from the minerals, the medicine drugs which are obtained from the minerals are silver nitrate and iodine tincture. This is a liquid and this is a powder. This is a powder. Both of these drugs are used as a way to stop the infections, to stop bleeding as well as to stop the infections. The drugs obtained from bacteria. Another source of the medicinal drugs are bacteria, and this is the modern most commonly used method to get the drugs, the medicine drugs from the bacteria, which are known as antibiotics. The drugs which are used to treat many infections and obtained from the bacteria are known as antibiotics. There are many examples of the antibiotics. The drugs which are obtained from the bacteria, the medicine drugs which are obtained from the bacteria are streptomycin, terramycin, cephalosporins. We will discuss them in detail. Now we will talk about the drugs, terms and the naming of the drugs depending upon their use and where they are being used. There are many types of the drugs. The drugs which are used to reduce the pain are known as analgesics. Analgesics are types of the drugs which are used as painkillers. They are also known as painkillers. Painkillers are the drugs which are used to relieve the pain. We can also call them as pain relievers. The pain relievers or painkillers are the drugs which reduce the pain. They can also be called the pain reducers. And analgesic is the scientific term for painkillers. The many examples of the painkillers are aspirin, paracetamol, Panadol, and more strong painkiller being the morphine. There are two types of the painkillers: the weak painkillers used for mild pain, less pain, and the strong painkiller which are also called patent painkiller. These are used for strong pain, very much pain. The drugs which are used to induce sedation, relaxation are known as sedatives. Sedatives are the drugs which induce sedation. Sedation means calmness, relaxation. The drugs which reduce irritability and excitement, but instead they increase the calmness, the tranquility. These are known as sedatives. Sedatives can also be called tranquilizers. These drugs are used to tranquil, means to calm, means to relax something. As in case of a person which is having rabies, these sedatives are used. When you don't fall asleep, for you to fall into sleep, sedatives are used. An example of sedative is diazepam, and the most commonly used sedative in the world is alcohol. This is most commonly used sedative in the world. It induces sedation, calmness, the recreation, and such things. Other type of the drugs which are named according to their users, we are discussing more, are known as vaccines. Vaccines are the drugs which are used as preventive measures. These are preventive medicines. Means they are used before a disease. Before the attack of a disease, the vaccines are used. You are not a patient of a disease, but there are more chances of you to become a patient of the disease in the future, in the near future. You will use vaccines. In particular, the children which are not going to the school, mean the preschool children, are given vaccines to prevent them from many diseases like influenza, like polio, like hepatitis B, whooping cough. There are many vaccines which are used as preventive measure before the attack of the disease, to be away from the attack of the disease. Another type of the drug which is given the name as per their users is that are known as antiseptics. Antiseptics are the drugs which are used to stop the infections. Anti means stop, septics means the spreading of the disease. These drugs stop infections. Those diseases which get from one person to another person, these are stopped, these are reduced by the use of antiseptics. And there are many antiseptics used. The drugs called antibiotics are used to kill bacterial diseases. These are used for bacterial diseases. These drugs are obtained from bacteria and they are used to kill the bacteria. And I have already given you the example of antibiotics like streptomycin, terramycin, and vancomycin, cephalosporin, sulfonamides, and many other examples. We will also discuss antibiotics in detail in the following topics. The other type of the drugs which are used as per which are given the name as per their uses are known as disinfectants. These drugs are applied on the non-living substances, these are applied not on the living organism, not on animals body, but these are used on the non-living substances like flush, and these are used to reduce the amount of the germs, the amount of the bacteria present on the non-living areas to avoid the infections. Disinfectants. And other types of the drugs which make you addictive, which make you used to them, these are known as addictive drugs. Addictive drugs are the drugs which make you addictive to them. The drugs which make someone get addicted, get used to, are known as addictive drugs. Which make you addicted to them, used to them, are known as addictive drugs. Usually addictive drugs are used as recreational purposes, but there are many types of addictive drugs. For example, Sedatives are addictive drugs which are used to induce sedation, which are used to stop, to reduce the excitement and irritability. When you are too much angry, sedatives are used. When you are bloodthirsty of someone, then sedatives are used. For too much pain, sedatives are also used. For instant sleep, sedatives are used. These directly affect on central nervous system, and by affecting directly on central nervous system, these drugs induce dizziness, and these drugs also make you unconscious, means you are not aware of the surroundings, what is going on around you. You do not know when you are using sedatives. Too much use of the sedatives, the long term use of the sedatives also makes you depressed, means the use of sedatives also increases depression in you, and the suicidal thoughts usually come in your minds. You want to suicide, and the thoughts of suicide daily come in your mind, and that is why sedative drugs are also called suicidal drugs, because they increase the suicidal thoughts. Suicidal means you want to kill yourself or you want to kill others because you are too much depressed. You get away from your work, from your job. That is why you think yourself as very much less important as compared to the other, and suicidal thoughts possess your minds. The examples of the suicidal drugs or the sedatives are alcohol, which is most commonly used sedative. Another example is diazepam, and many others also exist. The other type of addictive drugs are called narcotics. Narcotics have a high potential for addiction. They have high power to make any person get addicted to them. These narcotics are usually used as strong pain killers. The narcotics are strong analgesic, means they are strong pain killers. When the other drugs like paracetamol, Panadol or aspirin are not relieving the pain, they are used along with them. Strong painkillers like narcotics are used with weak painkillers, and usually these are used for post-operational surgery and other chronic disorders like cancer, which is a high pain disorder, like heart attack, and like the physical trauma. The narcotics are used for them, for cancer, for heart attack, for surgery, for the pain after the surgery. Narcotics are used in the hospitals as suggested by the doctors. But illegally, the abuse of narcotics is also common. Actually, narcotics are most abused drugs, and the most famous narcotics are morphine and heroin. The morphine is obtained from the juice of opium poppy plant, and heroin is obtained from the morphine. Heroin is a semi-synthetic drug obtained from the morphine, and morphine is the drug which is obtained from the juice of opium poppy plant. Both of these have high potential for addiction and cause drowsiness, etc. Other type of drugs, the addictive drugs, are hallucinogens. The third type of addictive drugs we are discussing is hallucinogens. The word hallucino means it is derived from hallucinations, and gen means producing. The hallucinogens are the addictive drugs which produce hallucinations. Hallucinations mean false perceptions. Mean you see something which is not in front of you. You feel some emotion which is not true. Any false thought, any false sighting, any false thing around you which you imagine, which you think that there is, but actually there is nothing. Mean you are feeling the unrealistic to be realistic. For example, you see a tiger in front of you, but actually there is no tiger in front of you. Such type of thinking is called hallucinations, and hallucinogens are the drugs which cause hallucinations. The hallucinogens affect directly on sympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system, by being affected by hallucinogens, cause dilation of pupils, constriction of blood vessels, and because of these changes, dilation of pupil and constriction of blood vessels, the high blood pressure results. Means hallucinogens increase the blood pressure more than the normal, because of which you are feeling what is false, what is not around you. You are noticing that it is an effect of the hallucinogens. Example of hallucinogens are mescaline, psilocin, and marijuana. Mescaline is obtained from a cactus plant. Psilocin is obtained from a fungus known as psilocybin, and marijuana is obtained from the marijuana plant. All of these are examples of hallucinogens. They cause hallucination, and out of these three, marijuana is most commonly used hallucinogens. That is why we will discuss marijuana more in detail. Marijuana is also called hashish in Urdu, and in Punjabi it is called bhang. Marijuana is obtained from a plant known as cannabis sativa, also known as cannabis indica. It is obtained from the flowers, leaves, and stems of the cannabis sativa or cannabis indica. Because of its source, marijuana, hashish, or bhang is also known as cannabis. We can simply call marijuana as cannabis. What are the side effects? What are the hallucinations that marijuana cause? Marijuana cause a hallucination of well-being for about 2 hours. It produce a feeling of well-being in the person which is using marijuana, and this feeling lasts from few minutes to 2 hours. The feeling of well-being makes a person thinking that he is better than, he is more strong as compared to his fellow beings, and in this perception he often does very wrongdoings which cause physical harm or severe mental harm to the person. Another side effect or another bad effect of the use of the marijuana is that it reduces the sperm production. But sperm production is not a hallucination. What is the hallucination caused by the hallucinogen called marijuana is a feeling of well-being which lasts for hours. And in this feeling, a person can commit crimes as well as very much deadly deeds. Now we will discuss about the addict's life, and addict's life gets distraction from the social life. Distraction from social life, or we will discuss we can use another topic, distraction from social life, in place of this, that is the social life of addicts. The social life of addicts is very much sad. When a drug addicts have more chances to commit crime. Usually and mostly drug addicts are criminal because a drug addict is not liked by the people, not liked by the society, and mostly people get away from the drug addicts. They don't want to sit among the drug addicts, and they dislike drug addicts too much. And because of this hate, and also because of they're not doing any work, drug addicts, because they are not feeling normal, they are feeling dizziness, they are feeling drowsiness, and such conditions they cannot do their job. And when they are jobless, they can they can commit various crimes to get their drugs and to use their drugs. They can kill any person. Very severe crime can be performed by the drug addicts, the person which are using the addictive drugs. And they can perform the murder, they can perform the thief, they can do work as thief, they can be burglars, they can be shoplifters, and they can be anyone. That is why on their name there is a sport which is called social stigma. The drug addicts often face social stigma. Social stigma means people hate them, people dislike them, and people associate the drug addicts with a bad person, with the criminal. So after stopping the taking of the drugs, even after that, the drug addicts are not acceptable by the society, because their name is associated with the crime. And that is very much bad fact. They don't have to live normal life, and they can live just with the drugs which they are addicted to. And without those drugs, they are not supposed to live in the society. They live out of the society, a dangerous life. Police is always behind them, and they can be killed at any time by a chase, by a raid of the police, or by their own fellow beings which are drug addicts like them. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Our topic is antibiotics. Antibiotics are special types of medicines, special types of drugs which are obtained and used against bacteria. The medicines which are used for bacterial infections, for bacterial diseases, are called antibiotics. Anti means against, bio means living, tics mean things. Any substance which is against the living things, in particular the living parasites, means bacteria. The drugs which are used against bacterial infections or bacteria are called antibiotics. There are two types of antibiotics. One type of antibiotics kill bacteria and other type of antibiotics stop, reduce or inhibit the growth of bacteria. There are two modes of action of antibiotics, and depending upon the mode of action, there are two types of antibiotics. One which kill bacteria, which causes the bacteria to die, to be killed, and the other mode of action of antibiotics, and hence the type of antibiotics is that which inhibit, which stop the growth of bacteria. Those which kill the bacteria are called bactericidal antibiotics. Side means killing, bacteria means bacteria. The drugs which kill bacteria are called the bactericidal antibiotics, or simply bactericidal. Bactericidal antibiotics are the antibiotics which kill bacteria, and the antibiotics which inhibit growth of bacteria are called bacteriostatics or bacteriostatic antibiotics. We can use the word bactericidal antibiotics or simply bactericidals, and similarly we can use the word bacteriostatic antibiotics or bacteriostatics. Now we will discuss the types of antibiotics depending upon for how many infections they are used for. Means a particular antibiotics is used for what spectrum of diseases, how much disease can be treated by a single antibiotic. There are two types depending upon the range of diseases antibiotics are used for: the broad spectrum antibiotics and narrow spectrum antibiotics. Broad spectrum antibiotics is a classification of antibiotics which is used to treat broad range, a large range, a very much big range of bacterial infections. Many diseases are treated by broad spectrum antibiotics. As opposite to the broad spectrum antibiotics are narrow spectrum antibiotics. Narrow spectrum antibiotics are used for a very narrow, very small, very less bacterial infections. They are usually used for treating one or two or just a few bacterial infections. Broad spectrum antibiotics are used against many bacterial infections, and narrow spectrum antibiotics are used for very small number of infections. Both will be studied in this topic today. Cephalosporins are an example of antibiotics as well as a type of antibiotics. Cephalosporins are special types of antibiotics which have an ability to inhibit cell wall synthesis in bacteria. Inhibit means stop, retard, to not let the cell wall to be produced is a function of cephalosporins. Cephalosporins stop or inhibit the production of cell wall, the synthesis of cell wall in bacteria. Because they stop the growth of cell wall, bacteria will die, because when there is no production of cell wall, the no new formation of bacteria will happen, and the old bacteria will not find their cells protected and they will die. So cephalosporins are actually bactericidal antibiotics, means they kill the bacteria by inhibiting the cell wall synthesis. But they are at the same time narrow spectrum antibiotics, means cephalosporins are used very small similar range of the diseases. The respiratory diseases like pneumonia, bronchitis, tonsillitis, sore throat, etc. are relieved treated with cephalosporins. These, in short, are broad spectrum, but bactericidal and narrow spectrum antibiotics used for pneumonia, bronchitis, tonsillitis, and sore throat. Tetracyclines are second type mentioned in your book as an example of antibiotics. Tetracyclines are special types of antibiotics. These are broad spectrum antibiotics, means they are used for a wide range of bacterial infections. They are used to treat very large number of bacterial diseases. They are also called bacteriostatic antibiotics because they retard the growth of bacteria. They inhibit or stop the growth of bacteria. How do they stop the growth of bacteria? They stop the growth of bacteria by inhibiting protein synthesis in the bacteria, because bacteria are made up of protein. So if there will be no new protein produced or synthesized by bacteria, there will be no growth of bacteria. The mode of action of tetracyclines is to inhibit bacterial growth by inhibiting bacterial protein synthesis. At best, they are bacteriostatic antibiotics. Although they stop the growth of bacteria, they are broad spectrum antibiotics. They are used a wide variety of bacterial infections of urinary tract, respiratory tract, as well as gastrointestinal tract, means intestines. The infections, the most of the diseases of urinary tract are treated by tetracyclines, and the most of the infections of respiratory tract like pneumonia, bronchitis, etc. are treated by use of tetracyclines. Intestinal infections are also treated with the help of tetracyclines. Thence they are broad spectrum antibiotics. But there must be one thing considered, that these children which are under age of 8 must not be given tetracyclines. Why the babies or children under age 8 are not given the tetracyclines if they have any infections in the urinary tract, respiratory tract, or intestinal tract, or you may simply call intestines? The reason for not giving the tetracyclines to babies under age 8 is that tetracyclines may in this age cause severe staining of teeth. The irreversible staining, discoloring of teeth results in a bad impact on the babies in their future life. If teeth are discolored, they look nasty, very bad. That is why the babies or children under age 8 are not given tetracyclines because of the effect of tetracyclines on teeth, which is staining the teeth. The third type, as an example of antibiotics mentioned in your book, is sulfa drugs. The spellings may be SULPHA as well as SULFA. Both are used with the suffix drugs. Sulfa drugs is the third type of antibiotics. They are also called sulfonamides. Sulfa drugs or sulfonamides are the drugs which are used for treating the bacterial infections. Their mode of action is inhibiting the synthesis of folic acid in bacteria. Folic acid acts as a growth factor, growth hormone, growth chemical for bacteria. So, if the folic acid will not be synthesized, produced by bacteria, there will be no growth of bacteria. Their mode of action is by inhibiting growth, by inhibiting folic acid synthesis in bacteria. So, they are bacteriostatic antibiotics as well as broad spectrum antibiotics because they are used for a wide range of bacterial infection. The sulfa drugs are broad spectrum bacteriostatic antibiotics because they are used for a wide range, for a broad range, for a large number of bacterial infections, in particular the various infections of respiratory tract and urinary tract. The sulfa drugs contain a sulfur group because of which they are called sulfa drugs or sulfonamides. They contain an amide group and a sulfa group because of which they are termed sulfonamide antibiotics. These antibiotics are bacteriostatic and broad spectrum antibiotics. Here one thing is very much necessary to inform you that some other drugs, some other medicines which don't act as antibiotics, which are not antibiotics, but they also contain the sulfonamide groups or sulfa drugs in them. Special medications, for example, thiazide diuretics are special types of medicines. They are not antibiotics which also contain sulfonamide group. Thiazide diuretics are the medicines which contain sulfonamide group very similar to the sulfa drugs, but they are not antibiotics, means they are not used for bacterial infections. Instead, thiazide diuretics are used for lowering, for maintaining the blood pressure. These are used for treatment of higher blood pressure. They reduce the blood pressure, they don't kill the bacteria, but they contain sulfonamide group. Assalamu alaikum. Today we will discuss about antibiotic resistance. Dear students, antibiotic resistance is a seriously growing concern problem nowadays. Antibiotic resistance means the ability of bacteria to resist antibiotics. Means by antibiotic resistance, there is no effect of using antibiotics against bacteria. The ability of bacteria to resist means to fight with the antibiotics. You are using antibiotics for treating the bacterial infections, but bacterial infections are not being treated because bacteria have developed in themselves an ability to fight with the action of antibiotics. How do bacteria develop in them the resistance against antibiotics? What are causes of antibiotic resistance in bacteria? First of all, the internal mechanism or machinery of bacteria, the metabolism and the type of the bacteria cause them to be resistant against antibiotics. The development of antibiotic resistance, first of all, in bacteria develops by help of the bacterial own metabolism, own machinery, own internal mechanisms. Some are more strong, powerful strains of bacteria as compared to the others. They have more antibiotic resistance in them. And other cause of the antibiotic resistance in the bacteria is the gene transfer among bacteria. The resistant bacteria, the bacteria which have themselves made resistant against the antibiotics, which have developed antibiotic resistance in them, they transfer this ability of their antibiotic resistance to their fellow bacteria by a mechanism called gene transfer. The genes responsible for antibiotic resistance in one bacteria is transferred into another bacteria, making that bacteria also able to fight with the actions of antibiotics by developing in themselves antibiotic resistance. Another way of development of the antibiotic resistance in the bacteria, another cause is the improper use of antibiotics. What does the improper use of antibiotics mean? Improper use of antibiotics means that you are using an antibiotic for a disease which doesn't require the use of antibiotics. For example, you have an infection caused by a virus, you have a viral infection, and you are using an antibiotic for viral infections. While viral infections are not treated by antibiotics. So this is improper use of the antibiotics. You are using an antibiotic for a disease for which that antibiotic has no efficacy, means it doesn't show any form of treatment, any form of relieving the disease. So no use of antibiotics where you are using the antibiotics. Instead, you must use vaccines or other antiviral proteins like interferons. For viral infection, you should not use antibiotics. This also let the bacteria grow more because your bacteria get aware with the antibiotics which you are using, and they in future will develop immunity or ability against antibiotic resistance. Other reasons are old infections, old bacterial infections. Some infections are history long, age long. They are too matured, and bacteria already have developed in themselves too much resistance for such old infections. So there is a great need of development of production of new types of antibiotics for these old infections. But unfortunately, these new antibiotics also prove ineffective for old bacterial infections because the bacteria develop various ways, as we discussed above, to fight with the effect of antibiotics. So, what will be the case of new infections? If old infections are very much difficult to resolve with the antibiotics, so there must be a need for too much large new variety of the antibiotics against new infections, which is impossible. Some new infections can be treated with the help of old antibiotics, but very some. And these infections also with the time are impossible to be relieved using the new antibiotic also. So there is a continuous demand or need for latest antibiotics to be developed for new infections as well as old. It is a very much growing concern, antibiotic resistance nowadays. Too much medicines but of no use because of the ability of the bacteria to fight with the effects of antibiotics. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum. Our today topic is vaccines. Vaccines are medicines which are used to develop immunity against many diseases. Vaccines contain very much weak or dead pathogens. Pathogens means the agents which cause pathogenesis, means infections. Vaccines create immunity against diseases and are a best way to get prevented from various viral and bacterial diseases. The word vacca means cow, and the first vaccines was made from using cow by the first time scientist, the Briton physician in 1796, Edward Jenner. In 1796, Edward Jenner infected a young boy with cowpox by using the pus cells. When the boy got recovered from cowpox, Edward Jenner intentionally infected the boy with smallpox. The boy did not show any symptoms of smallpox. It was concluded that the cowpox cells made the boy able to develop immunity, develop the power against smallpox also. This substance is called vaccine, which makes the boy able to fight with the future infection by intentionally infection with a similar pathogen which is dead or weak. The method is called vaccination. The administration of vaccine into body is called vaccination. There are three ways of vaccination. A vaccine is given by mouth, by nose, or by injection. The most commonly way of vaccination is by injection.
Vaccine must be given to the babies who have not started to go to school. They must be given before a boy starts to go to the school. And some people also need vaccines. Even if they go young, they go adult. Such vaccines are given to the people at intervals periodically. Large amount of the vaccines at interval are called booster shots. They are called booster shots because they boost the immune system and given at regular interval after particular time of the year. What is the mode of the action of vaccines? The mode of action of vaccines is through the pathogens which are dead or weak present in the vaccine. These pathogens contain special proteins called antigens. The vaccines contain pathogens who contain antigens. When these antigens are introduced along with the vaccines into the body, they stimulate the body to produce antibodies. These antibodies bind to the pathogens and cause them to die. Means pathogens stored in the vaccines in the weak or dead form have the setup for themselves to be killed. They have a code called antigen which cause the body of a patient to develop antibodies against the antigens present in the pathogens which destroy the pathogens. But because the pathogens contained in the vaccines are already dead, so no use in that time. But in the future, antibodies are continuously produced for that pathogen which was entered contained in the vaccines in dead or weak form. Also, the pathogens, dead or weak pathogens contained in vaccines are memorized by special memory cells. These memory cells record the identity of the dead pathogens. So when in future living pathogens enter in the body, our body considers those living pathogens as their enemies and start to produce antibodies by the help of white blood cells. These antibodies will now kill the living pathogens. In the start, pathogens were killed, considered living by immune system of the patient. But in the future, the pathogens were living and killed on the onset or attack of the pathogen to the body very fast. So the future treatment of the disease is done by help of substances called vaccines. First person to develop a vaccine was Edward Jenner, and the technique is called vaccination. 3 ways of vaccination: mouth, by nose, by injection, mostly by injection. Usually babies under preschool age must be given vaccines. Many diseases have been treated by vaccines, have been prevented by use of vaccines like smallpox, whooping cough, polio, etc. This is a miraculous discovery of biologists, of physicians like Edward Jenner. Allah Hafiz.